Hello, everybody. It is November 7th, 2025. And I got in the mail today the Dio box set, the Decade of Dio, 1983 to 1993. Now, these are the Splatter versions of the albums. Just did the Diary of a Madman video. Too lazy to go change my shirt. Maybe sacrilege to do a Dio wearing an Ozzy shirt. But you know what? I gotta believe the two of them have finally gotten along. And if you watch that I mentioned it in another video. No Escape from Now, or the whatever that video was, that documentary they just released about the last few months of Ozzy's life. And I talked about that then too. Jack says he was obsessed with Dio, with watching Dio videos, because he said I never knew him. So I think Dio and Ozzy would be fine with it. But I'm gonna unbox. I haven't listened to this thing. I haven't, and I had no intention of ever buying this, and I'll tell you why. I did buy. Now I have these albums on vinyl. You know, if you hear screaming, my daughters have their friends over. This is kind of becoming a Friday thing and driving me nuts. But they have their friends over, and are all a bunch of animals. Now I have, I've had Last in Line forever. I had Holy Diver on CD, and then I did get an '83 version. Got Sacred Heart, Lock of the Wolves. I do have the reissue. Obviously, I don't have an original of that. And I did get Strange Highways and that was the reissue too. So I really had no intention of getting this, because by the time I had done all that, this box set had been released, come and gone, and people wanted, like, I think it was like $250, $300 for this thing. I'm like, there's no way I'm paying that for those albums. Never, no, not gonna happen, not gonna happen. But I did have the second box set, so the one that starts with Angry Machines and then goes through. So the last one's Master of the Moon, I believe, his last album. Doesn't that suck that you have to think about it? But so I have that second box set. So Rhino just, it popped up on my feed that Rhino's re-releasing these in splatter versions, and it was like $160 plus the single. And who's coming in?
It was me, but no biggie.
Oh, hang on. Hold, please. Hold. All right, that was the wife. Talking about the maniacs downstairs. So yeah, I'd never had any intention of buying this first box set, just because it was on eBay. It was crazy on eBay, and I think people selling it on Amazon, again, it was like $250, $300, something crazy like that. Because I would have gotten it. I'm enough of a Dio fan to say, okay, I would get this. No way, no way. Like the Kiss box sets, I am not getting. There is absolutely, it's not happening. Not gonna. Kiss is one of the bands where I would do that. Not going to happen. Absolutely. Plus, they just released Stress to Kill, and then Alive is out like within, 2 weeks of each other? Get out of here. Forget it. Okay. But anyway, back to this one. So I had no intention of buying this, and then it pops up in my feed. It's 160, I think, with the single. Like, yeah, you know what? I've blown money on other things. It's that was probably the top of what I would be willing to spend money on this thing for. So, so I got it, and I got it today, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I've ever really done it. I think on my old channel, I did an unboxing of the Friday the 13th, that Scream Factory one, and that was about it. I was never been a big unboxer. Maybe I did I don't know. Did I do in the old channel? Did I did the? I gotta look through some of those old videos. Maybe I'll post some of those, guys. Kind of wanted to do a fresh start, but I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. But okay, so the Dio box set is Holy Diver through Strange Highways. I'll talk about each album a little bit. I'm not going to listen to them and come back. I'll tell you which ones are my favorite and what I think of each album and whatnot. But we start out with this one, and this is Evil Eyes. This is the B-side version that was basically off Holy Diver, and then Time to Burn, which is from that Dio EP where Dio wanted to introduce us to Craig Goldie, and I have that Dio EP. It's a pretty cool EP. Or is that from Hide in the Rainbow? I don't remember. No, Time to Burn is from Intermission. That was it. And then the EOP EP has Hide in the Rainbow. This is cool. And these splatter ones, they sound good. You know, you sit there and you think of like I don't have too many old time, if you will, picture discs because I was never a fan of them. They never sounded great. The one that I have that sticks out in my mind is You Said It All. You know, the Ozzy, Mr. Crowley with You Said It All, and but that even the quality on that is not great. But these picture discs and these splatter discs and whatnot, they're pretty darn good quality. Now this came in like a separate white envelope with it. Must look like it was already, I don't know. I want to say it was open. I don't know, but this was not like sealed. This is how it came. So now we're gonna open this guy. All right. Here's the box set. Again, it's factory sealed. Let's see. There's the stuff on it. All right, let's open this guy up. See what we got. Kind of bummed. I like to take the hype stickers off and then put. I know this again. This, to some of you guys, this is sacrilege. I take the hype stickers off and I put them directly on the box. Why? Because I'm never going to sell them. Because this is my stuff. You know who's going to sell them? My kids are going to sell them when I drop dead and make money. To sell it, if they don't get as much money for it because of that, too bad. I want it the way I want it. So here we go. All right. Murray's on the front. You got the wolves from Lock Up the Wolves. You know, you have the priest. You have the dragon from Sacred Heart. It's got to be Rock and Roll Children. Yeah, so you kind of have that collage like the, whatchamacallit, Live Evil from Black Sabbath. Kind of have that collage going. All right, so there's the back of this guy. God, all right, let's take a look at these albums. Kind of curious to see these albums. I'm sure they sound. I will listen to them one day. Just not tonight. Probably not in the near future. All right, hopefully here's my microphone. I like it. It lights up. It like spins and whatnot, and it's cool. And so if I sound a little different, I sound a little farther away now because I have to have desk room. All right, move the keyboard. So we'll start out from I got to do it from the back. The bottom. Holy Diver. I mean, many people consider this his best album. Great album. I don't think it's his best. Cool, and it has the in-album artwork. All just these collage of pictures from the years. Great, but I mean, unbelievably great album. I do like Last in Line better. And then we got this. All right, this is cool. Red and black splatter. I very much, and it's got the this is Vertigo. Warner Brothers. No, it's Warner Brothers, which was the original label. I didn't know. You never know. You know when they get to when they're in England. A lot of times, Warner Brothers is Vertigo. It was kind of more of a whitish, so I thought it may have been a Vertigo. Come on. Want to put these back in? Come on, my God. I'm doing this so I don't bend it, and I'm gonna end up bending it. So, all right, let me put this here and this over here and some of those and some of those and some of these. This is his best album in my opinion. Last in Line. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I know this is controversial, but Murray I think killed album sales for Dio. Absolutely killed album sales for Dio. Because I think when people looked at it and they said, oh man, Satan's on the front and it's Murray, but come on, we all know. Nice. It's a cool one. This is red and white. White with red splatter. Now, the splatter's cool, but you ever watch Seinfeld? Everything before the butt is a lie, so splatter's not cool. I'm lying. I don't care for the splatter. I would have preferred each disc be a different color. A solid different color. That's how I would have. But for some reason, this splatter thing has become a thing. Now, I will say my copy, because I got I did go on eBay and I got an 85 version. Yeah, this came out in 85, right? Yep, 85 version. It's beat up, man. The version I have of the cover is beaten up. So I'm kind of glad to have this. of Sacred Heart. Sadly, this one's about half good. Not. This one's cool. All right, this splatter I'll give. It's gold with the red. I will give you this. And I did like the if we're gonna have splatter, I did like the Holy Diver. Last in line, not so much. Again, Seinfeld, not so much. Yeah, this is the album's fall or the band's falling apart. Dio's marriage had or is falling apart, and I mean, so just a lot of throwaway tracks on this, but I'll go over that in a second. Dream Evil, bit of a comeback album for him because Sacred Heart was not, was not well received. Tour did great, album not so much. Craig Goldie, not the biggest Craig Goldie fan at all. Now, Viv, this one's cool. All right, I'll give you this. I love this. This is a cool one, green and red. Yeah, all right, I will give you this one. So I guess it's, but again, I'd rather just have a solid neon green. God, it almost sounds like I don't really like Dio guitar players. Because if you hear me talk about Viv with Def Leppard, I'm not a fan of Viv with Def Leppard at all. I do like Viv with Dio. But I still don't think he's as great a guitar player as he's been made out to be now. Ooh, things change because I love this album. There are times where I would consider this my favorite Dio album. And this guitar player, young Rowan Robertson. There he is. There's Rowan. The best Dio guitarist, in my opinion. And I've said this before. If you heard me talk about this album, let's see what this one looks like. Not loving it. Not loving it. It's kind of, what is this, grayish, blackish, and white? Oh, what's this? That's a little imperfection I'm feeling here. Hopefully that's not. That's on the edge, though. What is that? All right, I'm going to have to play this one for sure because... it's like on the outer ring of it. There is a version of this band that was Ronnie, Jens Johansson, Rowan Robertson, Jimmy Bain, and Vinny Appice that just kind of didn't survive. It didn't, but I think if that version would have stuck together, they would have had more really good albums like this. And the album version does not have Why Are They Watching Me, which I think is one of the best songs from this album. Easily could have taken off Twisted, Between Two Hearts, or the one song that I absolutely do think sucks on this album, Evil on Queen Street. I think is an absolute terrible song. All right. Now, terrible. I know it's controversial. I love the Dio color in the logo of Strange Highways. This album sucks. I'm sorry. Tracy G, I don't like him. I don't like Angry Machines. And in fact, to be honest with you, I prefer Angry Machines over this one. If I had to choose between the two, it would be Angry Machines. Oh, look at that. It's been back. Nice. It's all right. It's like red and yellow. Yeah, nothing really blowing my socks off. I don't. Strange Highways, this mid-tempo Dio. He does that, and he does it well when he does it, but the non-stop mid-tempo, it doesn't work for me. Dio is the melody guy for me. So, okay, cool-looking albums. Again, I'm not a big fan of the Splatter, but, it is what it is. I will listen to these. Okay, but, definitely got to listen to Lock Up the Wolves is God. Dude, no supportability. Lock Up the Wolves is absolutely one of my favorite Dio albums. Okay, what are my favorites here? So we'll start with my least favorite, and obviously I don't like this album. Just don't. There's nothing redeeming about it. Crackle, crackle, you're all dead. Here I come, I'm Firehead, or whatever it is. Come on. Lyrics are great. Randy's lyrics are great, and it just wasn't holding up. The next one, nor was the music. Next one, Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart. Now this does it, whereas I don't think there's anything good on Strange Highways. And I know a lot of that's sacrilege, and I know that he took music from the Dehumanizer era and used it for that one, which I love Dehumanizer, but I guess that's also why they didn't use the stuff on Dehumanizer. But I love King of Rock and Roll, Sacred Heart. This, you know what? The first 5 songs are great, and then the last 4 songs are garbage. King of Rock and Roll, Sacred Heart, Another Lie, Rock and Roll Children, Hungry for Heaven, great songs. Now he had Time to Burn and Hide in the Rainbow. Could have taken out like A Beat of a Heart, Just Another Day, Fallen Angels, Shoot Shoot, they all suck. He could have taken 2 of those out and put those other 2 in, and it would have been a much better album. But yeah, this is the next Blah album. Then we go to another one that's just weak in places, man. Dream Evil. Great in places and weak in places. Night People, where he loses it with Sacred Heart, reestablishes the punch in the face openers of We Rock and Stand Up and Shout. Night People is, I would say, one of my favorite Dio songs. Night People's great. Dream Evil's great. I like All the Fools Sailed Away. I think it was stupid that it was a single. I like I Could Have Been a Dreamer. Again, stupid that it was a single. I like When a Woman Cries. Overlove's all right. The other ones, Faces in the Window, Naked in the Rain, Sunset Superman, kind of throwaway tracks for me. Fillers. They're not horrible, though. God, you guys are going to go nuts with what I'm about to put up. But yeah, this is my next favorite. And I mean, these are now getting into great albums. These are getting into albums that are phenomenal. I love all of them. I don't like Shame on the Night. And I know people love my buddy Tim, who got me into this music. He loves Shame on the Night. I mean, this is great. But this next one, I just love. I listen to more. Lock Up the Wolves. I love Lock Up the Wolves, man. And even though I think there are more weak tracks on this album, like Twisted, I think is weak, and Evil on Queen Street, those 2 are absolute throwaways. Between Two Hearts, I used to hate, but it has grown on me, and I'm going with the CD version that has Why Are They Watching Me? Everything else is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I love this version of the band. It's my second favorite Dio album, and second favorite of this box set, and then this one, man. I mean, this one is just absolutely perfect with every single song. I think in this one, this was like a greatest hits album. Every single song on this album could have been a monster hit. I love every single song on this album. Eat Your Heart Out is a little bit would be the lowest, but that's like, that would be the 4 out of a 5 on this, but yeah. And maybe if I listen to it again, it'd be another 5 out of 5. But no, this is my favorite Dio album. So yeah, this is that box set, the new one, the 83 to 93 Decade of Dio. Again, great. Let me put these in order the way they should be. For the most part, a bunch of great albums. Even Sacred Heart. It's got its faults, but I'll listen to some of it. Dream Evil, same thing. I will listen to some of it from time to time. Absolutely never listen to Strange Highways. That one I'm never gonna. I've tried. Strange Highways is probably an album I'm totally giving up on. Which sucks because we lost Dio. We do not have Dio anymore. I'm talking in front of my microphone here. And that does suck. I hate it that that's the case. But I've given Strange Highway so many attempts, and it has never changed for me. It's just not. I don't think it's ever gonna grow on me. I do think Angry Machines to some extent may grow on me, but I don't know, for some reason I just cannot stand Strange Highways. Excuse me. Again, I'm not gonna I'm not going to listen to these yet. I will at some point, and probably when I do rankings of individual Dio albums, I will talk about these too. So I'll listen to them at that point. But all right, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you later.